Hello, everyone. This is Dan Riley on Sports Talk on Passion World Internet Radio. Nowadays, fans can use social media to get in touch with their favorite athletes. It's wonderful and makes us feel we can get to know them. Past fans didn't have that opportunity. But as we all know nowadays, social media is perfectly capable of causing just as much problems as it claims to fix. An inexcusable mistake by the press is an example of this, as well as some people who misheard something and went to Twitter to report on it. A clip from a Major League Baseball game featuring the Colorado Rockies has gone viral, and to some, it sounded like a fan used an inexcusable racial slur. It turns out, according to Reason.com, he did not. The guy was yelling Digger, D-I-G-G-E-R, a reference to a mascot, Dinger, D-I-N-G-E-R, who is the Colorado Rockies mascot, apparently. Several fans went to Twitter, reported on this, and the national media was naive enough to simply look at social media for a story. Some of the media outlets that made this big mistake, according to Reason.com, include the Washington Post, CNN, the Associated Press, and USA Today. Look, mistakes like this are inexcusable. When people consistently run to Twitter and act like journalists, they risk destroying people's reputations who really, really don't deserve it. It's destroying lives, and as we can see here, in an age where, frankly, news networks, whether they lean cable, lean either liberal or conservative, both MSNBC and Fox News are perfectly capable of counting on the average ordinary person to use Twitter to report. Look, social media can be dangerous. Running to Twitter to expose someone for inexcusable behavior can have consequences. And if anything, it can make things worse. People really misheard and tricked the media, apparently, into destroying a man's reputation. Stuff like this is going to lead to people further mistrusting the press at a point where both Fox and CNN can report fake news. As someone whose vote was a protest vote in 2016, this is embarrassing, ladies and gentlemen. Constantly calling out people for something that upset you can have consequences for the person, and if you misheard it, you may have wrongfully destroyed their reputation and risk a lawsuit like what happened here. And frankly, I'm amazed the outlets that made the mistake to trust Twitter aren't going to be sued too. If stuff like this continues, we're all in trouble. And the world of sports could be in trouble if, say, ESPN makes this mistake. No longer can we afford to trust people who simply sit around all day and tweet to accurately depict what's going on. Well, we never could, but now it's time for the press to wake up. This is only making a sensitive political time even worse. And suddenly, regardless of who you are, it's probably harder than ever to tell who's telling the truth. The game of baseball just showed us an example of how perhaps using social media to try to ostracize people can have consequences. And in an age where some of us don't know which party to trust anymore, this isn't good. This is Dan Riley for Passionate World Internet Radio. Thank you so much for tuning in, and so long.